Hi, everybody. We are going to talk now, and by we I mean me. I'm going to talk to you very quickly about the sacred texts and codes of conduct in the Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. We'll start with Judaism, where the sacred texts are the Torah, the Mishnah, sometimes you'll see Mishnah spelled with an H at the end, and the Talmud. The Torah is the Pentateuch, or the first 5 books of the Bible, if you're coming from a Christian standpoint, also referred to as the Old Testament. The Torah was given to Moses on Mount Sinai by God, and at the same time, because included in the Torah is the Ten Commandments. The Mishnah is the oral law, Jewish oral law or oral tradition. And after the diaspora, the word diaspora means the scattering or spreading out. And the diaspora for Judaism happened in waves. In any case, when folks were scattered out of Jerusalem, which was the center of Judaism, the religion lost many of the learned rabbis, and there was a fear that the oral tradition would be lost. So it was written down in the Mishnah. The Talmud is a collection of interpretations of both the Torah and the Mishnah by rabbis. In Christianity, the sacred text is the Holy Bible, and the Bible contains both the Old Testament of Judaism and the New Testament, which begins with the Gospels. The word gospel means good news, and it refers to the good news of Jesus Christ. Christians believe that Jesus was not just a human prophet, but in fact the Son of God. And the Holy Bible is the sacred text in Christianity. In Islam, there are 2 sacred texts. The first is the Quran. You see 2 spellings of it here. The word Quran actually means recitation, and it is believed by Muslims to be just that. The exact words that God, or in Arabic, Allah, the word for God, the exact words that Allah spoke through the angel Gabriel to the prophet Muhammad. The Hadith, on the other hand, is the written down, the recorded words and actions of the prophet Muhammad. And so while the Quran is the holy text, the sacred text, the exact word of God, the Hadith presents Muslims with a model for how to live life. Let's move on to codes of conduct. In Judaism, the most commonly referred to code of conduct is the 10 Commandments. We have a picture here of Moses holding up the 10 Commandments when he spoke with God on the top of Mount Sinai. By the way, this happened right after a really fantastic Old Testament story of the Exodus. It includes starvation and refuge and enslavement and plagues and the splitting of a sea. It's quite fantastic. And after all of that fantastic story is when Moses is presented with the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai during what's called the Sinai Covenant. In Christianity, the code of conduct is often also referred to as the 10 Commandments. And yet in the Bible, in the New Testament, Jesus is asked, as he is here in Matthew 22. Matthew is the author of one of the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are the authors of the 4 books in the Gospels. When asked what is really the most important sort of rule to live by, what Jesus says is this: love thy Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first commandment. And the second is like it: love your neighbor as yourself. Some of you, after the clear declaration of monotheism in the first sentence, will recognize the golden rule: do unto others as you wish them to do to you, or do not treat others the way you do not wish them to treat you. It can be stated in the positive or negative, but the golden rule is in fact found in just about every faith or religion around the world. In Islam, the code of conduct is summed up in what's called the 5 pillars of Islam, and you see them here. The first is the Shahada, or the creed, or the profession of faith. In essence, in order to become a Muslim, all one needs to do is, in the presence of another Muslim, say, "There is one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger." That's it. That is the profession of faith, or the Shahada. The second is Salat, or prayer, and Muslims pray 5 times a day. This is something that God told Muhammad to tell his people to do. And this happened in another fantastic story, something called the Night Journey. And we'll hear about that later on. Psalm is the 3rd pillar of Islam. This is fasting, and specifically fasting during the month of Ramadan. So during the month of Ramadan, Muslims will fast or not eat anything between sunup and sundown every day for a month. The 4th is the Hajj, or the pilgrimage to Mecca. Mecca is the most holy city for Muslims. It is where the Prophet Muhammad was born, and it's also where something called the Kaaba stone is. And once in a Muslim's life, if he or she is financially able and physically able, one is to perform the Hajj, or the pilgrimage to Mecca. The 5th of the 5 pillars is zakat, or almsgiving, or giving to charity. And this sums up our very quick introduction to sacred texts and codes of conduct in the Abrahamic religions. See ya.